Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. My name is Kitty Bahel. Starting with that top focus, Prime Minister Modi has been welcomed with a hug by French President Emmanuel Macron at a welcome dinner ahead of co-chairing the AI summit in Paris. At the dinner, the Prime Minister also met US Vice President J.D. Vance, who is also in France to attend the AI summit. Prime Minister Modi will be co-chairing the AI Action Summit with Macron in Paris and hold bilateral talks with him, as well as address business leaders. For India, the AI summit presents an opportunity to influence global AI policies and collaborate on international standards. Well, Prime Minister Modi's participation signifies India's commitment to ethical AI development and positions the country as a key player in shaping the future of AI. Now, additionally, the visit also includes discussions on defense and technology sectors, further strengthening bilateral ties between India and France. All right, to talk more on that, I'm being joined by my colleague Ghazali here on the broadcast here. Well, Ghazali, we do understand while AI remains a central theme, this edition will also cover AI-driven economic opportunities, ethical challenges, as well as global regulatory frameworks. What benefits is India really looking at from this summit?
See, this summit can be seen through two prisms. One, that as you rightly pointed out, it's about AI. So it's an AI summit. It will, what is expected at the end of the summit is that perhaps India will also join a multi-nation treaty. It will be signatory to multi-nation treaty who are part of this entire summit. More than 25 states have participated in the summit. The entire theme of this summit has been divided into 5 major broad categories. One is the AI future of work, innovation and culture, trust in AI, and global governance of AI. And Prime Minister has always been talking about that how these emerging technologies should be accessible to all, because before China's DeepSeek came in, it was always the US companies which had a monopoly on this technology. The second relevance, if you see from the diplomatic prism, is that Indian Prime Minister or India has been invited to co-chair the summit. That also reflects the kind of bond we have with France. And France has also sent out a signal or a message that in the Asian region, we do have China as one of the superpower or one of the technologically driven country, but it still considers India as somebody which can co-chair the summit, and also gives India a kind of relevance on the global forum that now onwards, from here onwards, whatever decision, whatever treaty or whatever formulation will come on AI, India will also be a stakeholder to that.
Absolutely. Well, France definitely aims to use the event to highlight its AI ambitions, and there is much more that India also can take away from this summit. Many say that India does aim to take the benefits of AI tech from this summit for the global south. Well, all right, to talk more on that, I'm being joined by co-founder and chief technology officer at iSchool Connect, Ashish Tulsankar, on the broadcast here. Thank you so much, Mr. Tulsankar, for joining us here on NDTV. I'm also being joined by Mr. Ankush Sabharwal, who's founder and CEO, Corover AI and Bharat GPT. All right, if I could go to Mr. Tulsankar first. It's a very crucial visit of Prime Minister Modi, and India is co-chairing the AI summit with France this time. Many global leaders are going to be present for this summit. This does strengthen India's commitment to becoming a key player in the global AI landscape. As per you, according to you, what does this summit aim to address?
Yeah, so I think if India to become a global power in AI in next decade or so, it's important for India to be part of all these big summits and shape the governance rules which are key to the development of AI. Right? And India having one of the highest talent pool in AI, especially in IT sector, India becomes one of the key nations worldwide. And as you can see, instead of calling China, India has been called to this summit and asked to co-chair with France.
Yes, absolutely. Well, that is what everybody also does expect. This is a big difference that is being seen between this year's gathering and also the inaugural summit that happened in 2023. The big difference is, of course, China and DeepSeek. All right, Mr. Sabharwal, if I could come to you here. DeepSeek, this is a Chinese startup that seems to have disrupted the AI landscape with low cost and more efficiency, high performance models. We do understand a major focus here in the AI summit is going to be on DeepSeek.
Yeah, so I think, of course, that's one of the factors, but I think we should play on our strengths, as my fellow panelists mentioned. I think India, having the largest number of AI researchers, developers, and so what is the raw material required to create any AI platforms models? It's data, and who can produce better, more data than India, right? So we have people, we have data, and algorithms. Yes, we are building algorithms, and even if people have done research in outside India, and many of the algorithms are open source. So I'm not saying we have to hate others' research and reinvent the wheel. So
Yes.
embrace whatever is available and use our own strength and create some meaningful stuff. And it's not like we have to create. Yes, of course, we'll keep creating. India AI, as you know, is already embracing and call for RFPs from companies like us, AI companies, to participate in LLMs. But see, the major use of AI and LLMs is already being done in India at scale, right? So if I be a bit biased and talk about AI agents which we created, it's
Yes.
already live at scale. A billion plus users are using it. So yeah, so I think someone rightly said we are AI use case capital of India, but I would say I think we would be the applied AI capital of the world soon. I think we are the right track, and yes, this is just one of the milestone France calling us. I think we are more than that. So I think yes, we should
is that the
celebrate
signal that
small
we are
success.
sending out, that India is sending out to the world, Mr. Sabharwal, that, Mr. Tulsankar also here pointed out that it's not China that has been invited to co-chair the summit, but India that has been invited by France to co-chair this summit along with France, of course. Is that the signaling, the message that goes out to the world that we are an emerging, world leader when it comes to AI and tech? But of course, we do understand there could be hurdles on the way, much more that needs to be done.
Yes, so it is a signal, but I think that's again signs of success. But see, I'm very, very confident. It's not about signs, it's not about small successes. I'm confident in India would produce a great success for the world to use. Yes, we should continue being happy and celebrate these small successes. It gives us a signal, yes, we are on the right track. But I really see something really big is coming from India, and world would acknowledge it.
Mr. Tulsankar, what do you understand? In your understanding, what's at stake for India here?
So I think India is already creating policies and coming up with initiatives like India AI, where we are going to tier 2 and tier 3 cities, providing them with data and compute power, helping startups with incubations in AI. So all these signs are towards being pro AI, and the whole world knows now that apart from China, India is the country which has one of the highest pool of talent, highest penetration of mobile, good internet connectivity across the country. Of course, there are certain challenges in terms of connectivity in rural areas, but I think that can be overcome in some time. But given all these aspects and DeepSeek's advent, if we focus on better infrastructure, providing better avenues to startups and other companies to create better models, India is in line with China to move ahead in this race.
All right. Also, let's talk about France a little bit. Well, French startup Mistral is also well known for its open source AI model. That is also expected to gain a lot of attention there. Tell us a little about that as well. Yes, Mr. Tulsankar.
Okay, probably pardon me for the lack of knowledge of this part, but if they also have created this kind of model, which is a great sign already, because across the world, US has been the primary contender for coming up with huge models, better models, and then China came up with DeepSeek, which with given that they had less number of chips available, less number of infrastructure available, they were able to innovate. So given that France is also now moving ahead in that direction, it's a really good sign for France as well.
All right, Mr. Sabharwal, when it comes to global south, India is seen as, a leader when it comes to global south, leading the global south there. And also what we are learning is that, there are expected to be major outcomes of this summit. Talking about a foundation that is expected to cater to the AI needs of India and also global south. How do we see that?
Yeah, so I think, first of all, let me also say that. So we are now able to think we would be leader, or as I was saying, we are already in the right path and leaders in few space. So I think it's primarily because our honorable Prime Minister has given us wings, has given us opportunities. You think about the startup India, now India AI mission. So I think, of course, as I was talking about being leader in the world, and now you're talking about global south.
Yes.
Of course, I think we will see small successes in India, in global south, and very, very confident with the kind of policies we have. Who gives GPUs at 1/4 of the cost? Has any country given that? Right. So it's only India who is actually giving the resources at such a discounted, subsidized price. Right. People ask for maybe subsidy in oil, and say we think like now we are getting subsidy in GPUs. So you see the country at that leadership level is thinking like AI is the next thing, and subsidy, right? No one has actually asked. I'm not sure if someone has really done the debate, right? Sometimes we think whatever we ask, we get it. You see, the India leadership is such like they know we need GPUs,
Right.
and okay, the government is with us, leadership is with us, we'll think little big, and we'll really produce something good for India, for global South and the world in few months to come.
Absolutely. Mr. Tulsankar, before I wrap this up, last few words from you.
Yeah, so I think when we think about the impact on India, I've spoken about the strength that India has in terms of talent pool. Opportunities lie in the future skill development, but industry adoption is something that we need to look into. So currently, about 80% of our companies, compared to 75% worldwide, are pro AI, right? So Indians have sensed that AI, although its application AI at the moment is going to be a game changer, right? And
Right.
we have started moving towards it as a nation, and it's a really good sign for all of us.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Tulsankar and Mr. Sabharwal, for joining us here on the broadcast here. Well, all eyes will be on this very important and, interesting AI summit that's taking place here in Paris. And Prime Minister Modi is in Paris already. He's attended the dinner with the French President last night, and he is going to be co-chairing this AI summit today. Well, at the Paris AI Action Summit, many believe that much is riding on how India is going to position itself. Well, India will be co-chairing the summit, and there is a lot at stake for India also, and much to benefit from this AI summit.